So, what's your name?
My name is Dwayne Taylor.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is very different than Colorado. It's an inner city, big city type environment. I didn't grow up in the inner city. I kind of grew up on the outskirts. Fortunately for me, I didn't grow up in a neighborhood that had a lot of crime, and it was a racially diverse neighborhood. So when people talk about growing up like in the hood, so to speak, I was never really exposed to that.
I'm in the ghetto. Ra-ta-ta-ta.
So where my grandmother lived in Philadelphia was definitely considered kind of like the ghetto or the hood. And so my parents, in the summertime when I would go to camp, they made me go to camp down in her neighborhood because they didn't want me to think, my parents didn't want me to think that growing up, in my neighborhood, which was very racially diverse and very calm and all that, they didn't want me to think that that's how the whole world was.
Who did you look up to?
I would say I looked up to my father. He was a school teacher. The 20 years that he was alive in my life, he was very influential. Everybody knew Eddie Taylor,
Right.
and a lot of people in this city know Dwayne Taylor.
What was your childhood like?
Because I'm an only child, I learned to cultivate friendships very well.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to have friends, you have to be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of friends growing up in the neighborhood, and then as I left Philadelphia and went to the University of Florida for college, I joined a fraternity and cultivated a lot of friendships and was, pretty popular while I was in college as well. So I think had I had brothers and sisters, I might not have been as outgoing as I am.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, that's who I am, very much so. So I grew up being the fat kid. All my life I was, obese. And so, I was ridiculed and teased and, called fat boy. So that was tough growing up.
But you still had a lot of friends.
Right. I did get punched one time by this one kid, sucker punch.
Oh, wow.
And I remember coming home and telling my mother about it. And she said, well, we probably don't want to tell your father because if we tell him, he may go to school tomorrow and it might become really ugly. So that was something that I never shared, with my father. Mm-hmm. So he and my grandfather also helped shape my demeanor as well. Mm-hmm. Because I remember my grandfather told me, he said, son, when you grow up, you're going to be a big boy. He said, I want you to remember something. Don't be a bully. And so I was looking at him like, well, what do you mean don't be a bully? He said, you're going to be bigger than most kids, so no one's going to fight you fair. Mm-hmm. So if you get into fights, you may be, putting up your fists, but somebody's going to, pick up a stick or a knife or something like that. And I think that's my grandfather. That shaped a lot of my personality as well, for sure.
How do you think other people portrayed you?
I think that I probably had more of a negative view of myself than what I perceived other people had. So, in other words, I was uncomfortable in my own skin physically. I don't know if that shaped the way I went out and made it a point to make friends either. I know I didn't have a girlfriend until I was in college, a real official girlfriend. But I did go to my junior prom and my senior prom, with girls.
Right.
Obviously.
Are there any struggles that you faced as an adult?
Well, again, the whole obesity thing, wasn't until I was 51 that, I decided to have weight loss surgery. So, weight loss surgery is not, you can't just go to ATM and punch out $100 and get weight loss surgery.
Take me down to the basement, fill the buckets with cheese.
And then also, when I had it, I won't say it was a new procedure, but you have to do a lot of investigating and research to see if it's going to be viable for you.
When you got to college, you weren't like, maybe I want to lose weight, or...
No, when I got to college, so I think my freshman year, I probably gained 40 or 50 pounds. And there was one cafeteria that had all you can eat right in the dorm that I lived in. Lucky me, right? I'm being facetious here. Just imagine me having, getting up, having breakfast, all you can eat. Go to class, come back for lunch, all you can eat, drink, But yeah, I was throwing down. I was eating all you can eat breakfast, all you can eat lunch, all you can eat dinner. And yeah, it was ugly. And I gained a lot of weight my freshman year. A lot of weight.
Generally, after this entire conversation, is there any advice that you would give to the youth of today about anything?
Be comfortable in your own skin. Realize that you do have flaws. There's some things that you will overcome in life. There's some things that you'll struggle with for the rest of your life. But, be proud, be positive. Then, try to reach out and be a friend. Try to encourage others. And when you are, successful, hopefully you will be, don't just keep it to yourself. Share in some of the tricks and tips and advice. If people are, asking for what is it that got you to the level that you're at. I think that one of the greatest gifts in this life is the ability to cultivate friendships and to just help other people.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.